Yes, people, we're live. Welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. If you're watching live, big up to you. And if you're watching on replay, then hope you enjoy the show ahead of you. Lots of news to talk about today at Aston Villa. Ross Barkley has spoken out on social media and updated us with his injury. Not from Aston Villa, but from Ross Barkley himself. Unai Emery has said he is ready to capitalise on Crystal Palace and he knows what he needs to do to get a result. And could Tyrone Mings actually be fit and able to return against Crystal Palace? All this to be discussed today. Make sure you're smashing the like button for me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure all that good stuff is here. And welcome in, welcome in. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. And yeah, it is a bit of a late night stream. It is a bit of a chat, as always. Lots to discuss, and that Premier League game is on the horizon. Tomorrow we face Crystal Palace, in which is another, as I keep labelling every Aston Villa game at the moment, a must-win game. We must win. We've got to keep the points ticking. Away at Crystal Palace can be seen as a little bit of a bogey place. I still haven't forgiven us for losing heavily on the last game of the season when we had already won Champions League qualification, but it was a little bit embarrassing there. So we do owe Palace at their own ground. And all that to be discussed. So look, we're going to get straight into the Ross Barkley one because that is fascinating for me. And the reason why it's fascinating is because the player has actually updated us. Instead of through the main channels that you would expect through Aston Villa, he's actually taken to social media. And sometimes I go, do you know what? Power of social media right there. A good use of social media. A player, instead of getting misrepresented by journalists or bad speculation being said about him, is actually being able to come out and put his own little opinion on it. So here it is, people. And big up to everyone. I'm going to shout you out in the comments. Big up to Vamos VJ in the house. Big up to Meekin, who said, don't be late. Well, listen, I was only a couple minutes this time, but big up to Meeks, and he said, hi all, can't wait to win my $500 tomorrow. Well, you're going to have to get behind me as well in the queue on that one. But no, big up to Meeks. Hopefully we get to see the winner of the $500, and hopefully it's from the AVFTS clan. That would be unbelievable. And even into my mum as well. Big up to everyone. And if you are in the show, do say hello in the live stream. And if you are watching on replay, then also hello, hello, hello. Right, Ross Barkley then. What has he had to say? Well, Mr. Ross Barkley, it all started from this tweet from Jacob Tanswell, as you can see on the screen now. Big up to AVFC85. Hope you're well, my friend. Didn't actually catch you over the weekend, I don't think too much. I saw you on the Luke Robinson stream. But yeah, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. I'm sure you're happy with the display against Chelsea. Oh yeah, and I will give you a bit of an update on Luke in a minute. We have penciled in another stream this week. Happy days. But yeah, Kerry said, "Hey Josh, hope you're well. I know this may be weird, but I think we will be. Bruges and PSG. Do you think that means we'll beat Bruges and PSG, Kerry? Hopefully. I mean, PSG got to play Liverpool. Can't predict that one, but let's see. There we go. Love it. And ADFC 85 said he had the kids there. Yeah. Understandable. Sure, it kept you busy. But here we go then. Jacob Tanswell said this. He said, Unai Emery says AVFC will train this afternoon and assess whether Morgan Rogers and Tyrone Mings can play against Crystal Palace. Look, Tyrone Mings' situation, let's be real here. We weren't quite sure how bad the injury was. He obviously limped off with a little bit of a face on him. I don't know if everyone has seen the Anana handshake in the tunnel and everyone sort of saw that Mings was still a little bit deflated and down. But it said this, Esri Konsa felt good after the comeback. Power's close, maybe this week, maybe next week. Tomorrow is difficult for Ross Barkley. Focus on that bit. Jacob Tanswell gets the quote from Unai. Tomorrow is difficult for Ross Barkley. Basically meaning Ross Barkley isn't going to be available for Crystal Palace. So there we go. However, Darren, big up to Darren on Twitter, whoever Darren is. I know it's Twitter. I know people call it X, but it's Twitter, isn't it? Darren said, what is going on with Barkley? How can you be out for nearly 8 weeks with a calf strain? Because that's what was reported, a calf strain. Now, I believe a calf strain is 2 to 4 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really aware of a calf strain taking up to 8 weeks. And that's why the fan base was getting a little bit disgruntled and going, hey, what's going on here? Well, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ross Barkley, comes in on Darren and says, hey, and I've checked, this is the official Ross Barkley. It is no parody account. You can see 530.4k followers. He puts MCL tear. Calf happened trying to play on with a knee issue. Not far off. So basically, the calf came at the detriment of this MCL tear in his knee. So interesting, Ross Barkley actually had an MCL, which Villa did not report to anyone. That did not come out in any mainstream outlet. That did not come out in any mainstream media. We haven't heard Unai Emery ever mention that Ross Barkley suffered an MCL. So I find that quite interesting. I want to know your thoughts on that. How do you feel that a player has had to actually officially announce his injury? Unless I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did anyone else know that he'd done his MCL? Was anyone else aware that this was the injury that Ross Barkley was carrying? Because I thought it was a calf strain. That's what we got told. So I want to know your thoughts. Ross Barkley, did you know that he had an MCL, or did that come as a shock? And second of all, with that news and with that piece of information, how do you feel that a player had to announce that on social media himself? I do find that a little bit tin pot, a little bit Sunday League that Ross Barkley's had to come do that, because I'm not going to lie, his name was getting a little bit slandered online, and a lot of people going, what the hell's going on with Ross Barkley? Calf strain? Oh no, all this, calf strain. How can he be out for so long? Big up there in the chat. Farmy's in the house, not on the boost today, but only because I'm out. Farmy, having a bit of a detox day. Meek said Rodgers needs a break and no point risking Mings when we have a left-sided CB ready to play. Correct. I don't think we should be rushing people, especially with Cardiff on Friday. On that, Les and Jamie's in the house. Big up, Les and Jamie, part of the AVFTS clan. Popping in, got to run a few. No worries. Big up to my dad as well. AVFC85 said the Palace game is vital. If we can halt this shocking away form and get a win, we are right back in the mix of top 4-5. Exactly. And big up to Spicy Pricey in the house as well. Big up the clan, AVFTS clan. Listen, I agree on that. And one of the things I was going to say on that is, I'm not going to lie, I ruled us out of getting top 4 when we played, I think it was the West Ham game. I think I officially said I've given up on top 4. Little did I know that everyone else around us was going to keep fumbling. Top 4 still seems a big ask, but it's that 5th place finish now, isn't it? It's that 5th place finish that seems the one that we should be gunning for and going for. So yeah, another interesting thing is Crystal Palace seem to love playing away from home recently and not at home. Their home form's shocking and their away form's brilliant. So I'm glad we're playing at Selhurst Park. Yeah, but Ross does have a bit too much time in his hands. But look, as I said, here it is again. Ross Barkley confirming to Darren on Twitter that he's had an MCL tear and the calf happened trying to play on with the knee issue. So poor old Ross Barkley, he was doing well at the time, by the way, in my opinion, for Villa. He was actually playing really well. And Unai Emery was very close to probably having to start Ross Barkley. I think the way Ross Barkley was going, he was gunning for a starting position in that double pivot. How well he's performing off the bench. To then have an MCL has set him back. So that is the Ross Barkley injury update. He hasn't just done his calf. He hasn't just been in hiatus for 8 weeks. He's actually had an MCL tear, which is really, really frustrating for him. So there we go. But yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you smash the life out of the like button. A little bit of an update then, because I know a few of you are asking you. Well, we've got a few of you in here. So Luke and I are going to be doing another live show, another live talk on this channel, whether it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, one of those, yet to confirm. I'll probably do it Thursday night, because I think all the Premier League football's on Tuesday and Wednesday, isn't it? So make sure you're ready for that. We'll probably run it around this time again. Luke Robinson and I from Up the Villa fan channel will be doing another live show this week, as you guys wanted it. And just a reminder as well, the pinned comment, if you want to join the AVFTS Clan membership club, the members competition is back up and running now, then please do hit that link at the top. Mate, get Deji back on. Deji's been ducking. Deji has been ducking. And that's the fact of the matter. Deji has been ducking. I will call him out. I'll call him out again. He hasn't been very well, to be fair. I'll give him that one. But Deji is a must-have on this show, really. We got to get into in the comment section as well, haven't we? But he is a world-class bloke. But yeah, big up to everyone. And Meeks says, Barkley has been consistently good for us, can bang in a goal when we need it to. He does tend to go under the radar, though. It is one of them for me, pal. It is one of them for me. So yeah, I do think he stepped up some big goals this season. So that's the first part. Right. Unai Emery, ready to rock and roll, he says, for Palace. And first of all, I love these quotes from Unai Emery. Also, I've got a really good piece on Marco Asensio, so don't go anywhere on this one, because there's a big piece of news that's come out about Marco Asensio, which I find absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating about Marco Asensio as well. So I'll come to this in a bit. But here we go then. So, Unai, tomorrow is a really good test, and I'm excited. I want to see how we are responding collectively and individually, and how we can as well, more or less, impose our game plan. When I read those sort of comments from Unai Emery, I look at a man who actually wants to see how good his mentality of his players are. Because the way he said, I want to see how we are responding collectively and individually, and how we can as well, more or less, impose our game plan. Unai is basically saying there is, listen, we've had a lot of games recently. We've had a big week with Liverpool, and then we've had to apply it with Chelsea. And yeah, we are going to be a bit tired. But I want to see how good is this squad? How good is this squad? And as Meekin has said, he is a bit copy and paste, and I would agree on that one. He does like to say a lot of the same stuff. But what I am getting a sense of, I don't know if the man's a little bit sick in the head, in the fact he seems to love the thrive of a challenge. He's basically going to the players, come on then, how good are you? How good are you? What are you like mentally? What are you like physically? I want to know the weak ones from the good ones. I want to know who's got it in them to take this club forward. So there we go. Big up to Dino, who's been a member now for a whopping 37 months. Big up to Dono Dino. There's something about this club, long-term knee injuries. Yeah, Ross Barkley, MCL, not the best at all. Not you, Unai, the real Unai there. Actually, the real Unai. So the second part then of what he said is, the boss on tomorrow's challenge. Tactically, it's difficult to stop them because their structure is so strong. They have strong players getting a lot of duels and winning duels, and their goalkeeper as well is playing fantastic. I respect them a lot. Now, this is going to sound really, really poor from me, but who is Palace's keeper? Is it Sam Johnson? Am I right in thinking Sam Johnson is the Crystal Palace keeper, or am I absolutely off my head here? Who is the Crystal Palace goalkeeper? Can someone enlighten me? But the big thing I've taken from this is they have strong players getting a lot of duels and winning duels, and their goalkeeper as well is playing fantastic. Now, when Unai Emery talks about duels, he's on about physicality. And this is why I think, once again, he will be looking for the likes of Morgan Rogers. He'll be looking for the likes of Jacob Ramsey, and I think, of course, as well, the likes of Tyrone Mings to be fit and available. Now, Jacob Ramsey is the one again. We are all sat here praying and longing to see Marcus Rashford start for Aston Villa. Praying and longing for it. I've got a feeling, once again, people, we're going to see Jacob Ramsey start against Crystal Palace because of that word about physical duels. Jacob Ramsey, probably a little bit more physical, a little bit more ready for that sort of challenge. And so, that's what I'm going to expect. However, we haven't got Onana. We haven't got that sort of powerhouse in there. No Kamara. So what Unai is telling us is the ground duels, the duels on the floor, the way in which he wants us to compete is going to be key. Oh, so the Crystal Palace goalkeeper is Henderson. The Crystal Palace goal. Why do I think Sam Johnson was the Crystal Palace keeper? I will be honest. Crystal Palace are one of the few teams I've watched this season. I could probably say with confidence that I've probably only watched Crystal Palace once this season. Once. So that says a lot. So, and that was, aside from playing us, John McGinn passed to Ollie Watkins. Aside from playing us, I think I've watched Crystal Palace maybe once. So it really shows how little I've paid attention to them this season. Well, they caught everyone's eyes last year. Very strange side, Palace, this year. Very good away from home, very poor at home, which you wouldn't expect. Kerry says, play full strength against Cardiff, rest some versus Palace, focus on winning a trophy. Listen, if I see Robin Olsen starting goal against Cardiff City, if I see Jamoa starting, I'm not going to be happy. I want full strength FC, both games. That's where I'm at, Kerry. I want full strength. I think we've got enough in us to play full strength tomorrow and full strength Friday. I think with that good, there'll be one or two tweaks, but I expect to see 8 or 9 of the 11 who start tomorrow start against Cardiff. What do you guys think in the chat? Big up to my man Meekin, who's been a member for 10 months. One of our own, Meeks, legend. Massive support of the clan. Always appreciate him. And big up to Clay, his son, as well. Let Clay know, I'll give him a shout out. Nearly there, yeah. Spicy says, yeah, we've had some massive games recently. I'm buzzing to see where players come back and some getting even closer. We've got games ahead of teams. Exactly. We're going to need every player available. Big up to Valence VJ who said that. And by the way, big up to my bro, Michael Talks Football, legend. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, guys, Michael is now a big up content creator as well. So if I'm ever not doing Aston Villa content on there, if you want another big up streamer, please go join Michael Talks Football Community on Big Up, and of course his YouTube channel as well. He says, you confident ahead of Club Brugge? Big up, bro. Big up to you. Now, Michael, I've actually watched your video when we drew Club Brugge about Club Brugge being one of the most underrated teams in Europe. Am I scared of Club Brugge? Let's just say this. I would have rather Dortmund. I would have rather had Dortmund. However, I also know that we owe Club Brugge, and Tyrone Mings was doing his best Emi Martinez impression at their place, picking up the ball, giving away a penalty. And we didn't play well against Club Brugge on their turf. We really didn't. But we owe them. Over 2 legs versus Club Brugge, I fully expect Unai Emery to cook up the winning recipe, the winning receipts, the winning formula over 2 legs. Do I think they could beat us at their place? Maybe. Or a draw. Do I think we should absolutely pull on the hammer and tongs at them at Villa Park? 100%. And that, for me, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but don't Aston Villa play every Champions League game now at home in the second leg? If so, it's massive. That's absolutely massive. So there we go. But yeah, Donny Mallon could be an interesting one against Palace tomorrow because of his physicality. AVFC says, if he starts Ramsey over Rashford, I'll not be impressed. I'll be sick. Need to manage Asensio's minutes. He's become really important really quickly for us. I'm going to show you a little thing on Asensio in a minute. We're paying a lot of money for Rashford as well, which is correct for him to sit on the bench. Right, Club Brugge arguably are much better than when you faced them last time. Also should be a great matchup. Yeah, so guys, if you want to know more about Club Brugge, go on to Michael Talks Football channel after the stream. He's got a video. Go watch it about Club Brugge. He's done his homework. Michael knows his stuff. Go check that out and do get into his big up community. So yeah, I get that about Dortmund away, but I also think Dortmund are a bit of a floppy side themselves. You know, we do own. Yes, I see a 4-1 aggregate score, 1-1 away. Hopefully, we've got to get through Club Brugge, and then I feel like anything can happen. Have to calm down. So Marcus Rashford has to start. Marcus Rashford, 40 million release clause. Yes, please give me that. But look at this piece on Marco Asensio that I'm about to show you now. Have a look at this piece on Marco Asensio, which I think is fantastic. I didn't know this, but here we go. And this is why, remember, Rashford and Asensio, there could be a world, there could be a future. There could be a world, there could be a future where we sign one, if not both of these on a permanent. But look at this from Jacob Tanswell. Those close to Marco Asensio insist one of the fundamental reasons he chose Aston Villa was Emery's insistence that he would operate as a number 10, regarded as his natural position, and one he has not played regularly since his year at Espanyol in 2015-16. So even when he went to Real Madrid and PSG, Asensio believed he was not playing in his best position. And he believes he's number 10, which is why Morgan Rogers has had to suffer. And that now makes sense. Essentially, we've made a little bit of a promise to Marco Asensio, which basically said you're going to play the 10 role, which basically means Morgan Rogers has had to go, hey, what about me? And Unai's gone, Morgan, wide right. You're out wide right. But Morgan, we've got someone called Garcia now, who's going to be our attacking right back. Matty Cash is trying to get up to speed. But Morgan, you're going to be wide right and you're going to invert him and you're still going to do your business. We also know that Asensio's legs, I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, I hope you guys know this as well. I thought Asensio was one of our worst players against Chelsea. Yeah, he did the most important thing in the game, putting the ball in the back of the net. And weirdly, Star's here, as you all know Star, if you know Star from Big Up, daughter, she played on the weekend, right, on Sunday, in those horrendous conditions, right? Horrendous conditions, hailstones. Heidi and I had watched her. She's a brilliant striker, right? She scored 4 goals at the weekend. They won 5-2. She scored 4, right? But I turned around and said to her, I said, you've done an Asensio. She had an absolute stinker, right? She was the most laziest, unimpactful player, right? And she sat here now, she's smiling, right? But I tell you what, when she came around the danger zone, the 18-yard box, she was clinical. She was lethal bizzle. She absolutely scored some great goals. But she did an Asensio, because the rest of her game, she may as well have not played. She may as well have just been like she may as well have been like an NFL kicker. She may as well have just ran on the pitch when the ball was in the final third. But she took all 4 goals incredibly. And I've said to her, like a Van Nistelrooy. But the weird thing is, I've said to her that she's played other weeks before. And this is probably like my Ollie Watkins situation, where she's ran really hard. She's pressed really hard. She's held the ball up well. She's brought other people into the game. She's created chances. She's dragged some of her shots wide. And she's maybe scored 1, because she is top goal scorer in the league by a mile as well. And that's like Watkins for me. It's why I'm a Watkins super fan. Because I am a stickler. When I watch the game of football, I love someone who runs, presses, brings people into play, is a handful, always involved. Yes, he misses his chances and you get pissed off. If you put the package together, you're loving it. And I just said that to her. I've seen her have much better games and not score. So, Asensio, sorry, shout out there. Asensio had a stinker against Chelsea. If you go back, the misplaced passes he made, he didn't want to track back. He was a little bit leggy, but he did what Villa have been crying out for, which is what I've been crying out for. Big game player who steps up at key moments and scores. And that's going to be our Rashford. Rashford may pull off a stinker soon. Rashford may sit there and have an absolute stinker, but he may score a massive goal for us. And I like that we've got that for Villa. I like that we've now got these big game players. Apologies, by the way. I'm sort of eating chocolate buttons and they're melting. And they're all good. You know me. Heidi's always feeding me snacks. But yeah, ABSC says, if we get through the best round, I'll be happy. And even if we go out to Liverpool and GSG, we've done ourselves proud. Look, quarterfinals of the Champions League. It's no joke. That's an incredible feat. Incredible feat. Big up to Meekin, who's missing his social time to be on stream. Thank you. And yeah, very much a Van Nistelrooy, who, by the way, is stinking out at Leicester City, isn't he? Stinking it out. He's having a terrible time at Leicester City. Really is. Really is. Big up to everyone. So, Unai Emery, he's spoken, he's delivered. One last thing, then, for you guys is Crystal Palace. As I said, Tyrone Mings and Rodgers will know tomorrow morning whether they'll be in or not. And look, let's have a read of these quotes. I've got the wrong screen up. Let's have a read of these quotes. And I'm going to quickly show you Crystal Palace's form that Star and I went over last night. And we were surprised at how bad they are at home. So we will show you that as well. Right. So, Unai Emery. It said, when asked about Mings and Rodgers, Emery said, Mings wishes that he's always showing us is to play, even when he's telling me on Saturday that he was not good. When I subbed him, he was telling me he could continue playing. He's a very important player for us. The idea is to have subs performing well as well when we are not having every player available. Now, I kept saying this. Tyrone Mings is telling the management team that he can play on. Those of you who are in my watch along, those of you in my watch along will know that I was screaming, going, that guy is injured. Big up Les and Jamie. By the way, big up PC Lockdown in the house. Who's in here? Hola. I'm all good. Or should I say hola? ¿Cómo estás? I was screaming, Tyrone Mings is injured. But Unai's even admitted this now. Unai's even admitting this. When I subbed him, he was telling me he could continue playing. Mings is a warrior. Mings is unbelievable. And Tyrone Mings is basically telling Unai, I want to play every minute. And I like that. I do like that in a player, but we have to manage it. I will be absolutely shocked if Tyrone Mings is in that starting lineup tomorrow. The only reason why I think Tyrone Mings may be in the starting lineup is Axel Disasi. Can he play left-sided centre-back? Can he? And what we will see tomorrow, chat, is how much does Unai Emery rate Axel Disasi? Because if he plays a half-fit Tyrone Mings, wow, that man does not rate Disasi. If he plays Axel Disasi over Mings, then we know Mings is injured. If Mings plays and starts tomorrow, seriously, that's telling me he does not rate Disasi. Big up to PC Lockdown in the house. He's saying Crystal Palace 1, Villa 3, up the bloody Villa. Yes, PC. What is it? -10, -15? Where are you at? Where are you at in the temperatures of Great Canada today? Let me know how you're doing. But yeah, big up to everyone in chat. Keep running the like button. So I thought that was an astonishing piece of news there. And Michael Dimmitt says he played LCB at Monaco, as did James Meakin. Yeah, he did. Okay, so there we go. There we go. So basically, chat, 1,000,000% now. If Tyrone Mings starts tomorrow over Axel Disasi, all you need to know is not rated. Not rated. That's the message loud and clear from Unai. Lloyd Bade turned us down, didn't he? Yeah. So, is Mings the new god, aka Paul McGrath? Wow, Kerry, that's a tough one. No one could quite come to that, but Tyrone Mings will go down as cult hero status at Villa, 100%. He'll be known as the guy who gave his all, put his body on the line. Like James, not quite James Chester. James Chester will be a bit below, but we do represent and love those type of players. But there we go. Sorry, just getting the coffee in. But yeah, interesting. Disasi actually played left side for Monaco. So he should be starting tomorrow. So let's go to the Morgan Rogers piece of information. One of those is Morgan Rogers, but in case he's not available tomorrow, of course, we're going to use another player and believe in our squad to help in the moment we'll need them. That's probably a massive compliment to Morgan Rogers. Basically, that's Morgan Rogers is a starter. That's what he's saying. One of those is Morgan Rogers, but in case he's not available for tomorrow, of course, we're going to use another player. So Unai, in a way, and if you're Morgan Rogers, again, you're going to sit there. There's been a lot of Morgan Rogers interviews that have been floating about recently, and how much Unai Emery convinced him and chased him and told him to come to Villa. If you're Morgan Rogers and you're seeing your gaffer say basically, look, if you're fit, you start. It's a massive compliment. And the second part to it is Morgan's not even going to even play as a number 10 anymore. So it's really exciting. And I think Morgan Rogers, dare I say this, and people may laugh at this, I actually think Morgan Rogers may start for England under Thomas Tuchel. Right now, I think Morgan Rogers has a really good chance of starting for England. I really do. I really do if he continues the way he's playing. Meeks has actually said he likes Disasi. Been a nice surprise. The VJ's going for a Villa clean sheet. My God, wow. We've got to manifest a clean sheet at some point. And Spicy said Mings will become a club ambassador for sure. Love it. Love it. Okay, final look then. Final look at Crystal Palace and their form. And this is what blew my mind, the last 5 games. They're such an odd team, Crystal Palace. A really odd team. They sit 13th in the Premier League. And big up to everyone on the house tonight. Team form. Have a look at this. Team form. They beat Fulham away 2-0, which was an odd result again, because Fulham are a tricky side. They play Everton at home and lose. Ignore the Doncaster games as FA Cup. But again, away from home. They go away to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United. Yet they play Brentford at home and lose. They've lost 2-1 at home the last 2 games. So am I going to go and say that Villa go... Basically, Villa win 2-1 tomorrow. If we're going to copy the Crystal Palace pattern, Villa win 2-1 tomorrow. Because Crystal Palace have lost 2-1 to Everton, 2-1 to Brentford, and they're going to lose 2-1 to Villa. 3 home games in a row, 2-1 losses. I'm calling it now. And look how weird their form is. This is how weird Crystal Palace are. I've only just clocked this one. Not only have they lost their last 2 home games 2-1, but they've won their last 3 away games 2-0. How weird is that? How weird is that? They've had absolutely symmetric. No, is it symmetric? What's the word I'm looking for? Symmetry. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what word I'm trying to use. But basically, 3 away games, 3 2-0 wins. 2 home games, 2-1 losses. Put your house on it. Put your money on it. Put every penny you got. Right? This is not betting. This is not my gambling advice, but it's financial advice, as Deji would say. Villa win 2-1 tomorrow. That's what that form guide's telling me. But yeah, Crystal Palace at home wasn't a great result for us, was it? They did pepper us as AVFC 85. Ollie Watkins scored a really nice goal from a John McGinn assist, but then after that, we died off. A big up to Dean Murdoch in the house. He says, up the Villa mates, newly subbed. Win be taking the Palace over tomorrow. No doubt we're going there as if it's all home. Real intensity and goals. I say 4-1 Villa. Yes, Dean. Big up. Welcome along. Nice to have a new subscriber in the house. Thank you for commenting and love your positivity. That's what we're all about here. So 4-1's a nice win. Yeah, a 2-1 win. I can't tell you scored yet. I need to see the starting lineup. Meek says, makes sense what you said about Sensio now, Josh. I mean, getting annoyed with Rodgers not being played central. But if he's promised that position to Sensio, it makes more sense. And let's be real. If there's a possibility to sign Marco Asensio permanently in the summer, you're going to try and uphold every promise. I hope we haven't promised Marcus Rashford game time because we're struggling with that a little bit, aren't we? On that sense. But yeah, look, Marco Asensio, him and Rodgers, the conundrum that is, Rodgers had to adapt his game. It sort of makes sense in a way because I think Morgan Rodgers is the more versatile player. And if you get a tune out of Asensio, he's already repaid us with 2 massive goals against Chelsea. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? PC says, one of our members, says, Lol, Josh, cheers. It's warmed up and been raining in the snow, mostly gone out. Everything's looking up since we whipped them Yanks, pretend to play our game. Love it. Love it, PC. Like that. Oh, hockey. I'm with you. Ice hockey. But yeah, 4-1 seems a popular scoreline. But yeah, Kerry, I cannot commit to my first goal scorer because honestly, who knows with an Unai Emery team? You actually don't know what sort of team Unai Emery could put out. So yeah, he could boggle us there. But listen, big up to everyone in the chat. I'm going to wrap up soon on this one. If you are interested then, as I said, a few things to look out for this week. Number one is, of course, we're doing our famous watch-along tomorrow. That will be on Big Up. We'll do a pre-game build-up on here. Then we'll be live on Big Up. Second of all, on Big Up, they're giving away the $500 prize. Is it someone from the AVFTS clan? Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's pray to the Big Up Lords that they rain the $500 on us. And thirdly, as I said, we have locked in either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to probably push for Thursday now. Luke Robinson will be joining the channel again for another evening discussion. Because I think you guys like that, didn't you? I like doing solo streams, but I also really miss doing the one with Luke Robinson. I've already given Justin from Up the Villa fan channel as well a little message. He said he'll jump on. He's just got his new YouTube channel up and running. So yeah, there's some good things coming this week. And then, brilliantly, before we know it, it'll be the FA Cup time Friday. And I'm going to the game with Heidi and Star. We're going to the FA Cup game. So, really good price for tickets. We thought we'd get ourselves up to the FA Cup and support. And, yeah, I'm really excited to go to that as well. So, yeah. So there we go. But yeah, oh Lord, let us sign Asensio on a permanent. We got to pray hard. We brought these guys here to play. Morgan's just going to have to suck up. Do you know what as well, AVFC? I reckon that's the sort of thing that Unai's probably said to Morgan Rodgers in a blunt Unai Emery way. I reckon Unai has turned around to Morgan Rodgers and said, put his arm around him and said, look, Morgs, you know who Asensio is, right? You know this guy? Yeah, we could get him on a permanent if you just keep your mouth shut and play well. Yeah, we got him. When's Powell back? Who starts at left CB? Powell, Mings, or Disasi? Ooh, good question. Guys, let me know in the chat what you would reply to this. I know Unai would go with Pau, but I've said this. There is games where I'm calling out for Tyrone Mings because of his pace, because of his leadership, because of his ability to throw his body at the ball and block. But sometimes there's a game calling out for Pau when you basically need to break down a side and you need to have him in his passing lanes and making those crisp, firm passes to penetrate two lines and get, Rodgers or Asensio or Rashford on the half turning away. Disasi, he's just there to make up numbers, in my opinion, PC. So there we go. There we go. But there you go. But yeah, it's the general consensus that Big Up's better than YouTube. It's twofold, really. It works better on my end in terms of organization and the tools that I can use. And quite a few people like the chat when it doesn't bug or lag and they like it. And it's also a way in which I can have specific watch-alongs on one platform and then grow this type of content on another, I guess. But never ruled it out, as always. I have, as I said, done a few like the Champions League watch-alongs on here. But yeah, it's an interesting one, AVFC, and fair play to you. Just a question, Evan. Do you think we'll sell Buendia, Bailey, and use some of the money to buy Rashford and Sensio? 100%. Listen, if anyone's not clocked, and someone on Never a Foul called Cat actually clocked this to me, he said Villa's got a weird thing going on with Saudi Arabia. Musa Diaby, John Duran. I reckon we can flog a Leon Bailey to Saudi Arabia. I actually think we could. I actually believe we could flog Leon Bailey to Saudi Arabia and get the bag. But the one that I would be really upset to see going, but I'm going to probably say there's an 80% chance this summer of leaving to Saudi, is Luca Dean. Watch this space. Got a weird feeling. Got a weird feeling that Luca Dean goes to Saudi. Don't know why. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, Disasi, don't get me wrong, he's done well. They should have fixed that now, AVSC. That should all be fixed. They told me that. But yeah, listen, Disasi, don't get me wrong. He's not terrible, but he's a loan that we're never going to sign permanent. And that's all I'm going to say on it. I don't know why I've got this weird feeling about Luca Dean going. Don't know why. I think it's because he was once upon a time linked to Saudi Arabia. But I just don't know why. I think we're going to have to. Right, this is the hard reality of being an Aston Villa fan. We're already on those lines of PSR again. The reality is we're going to have to sell a big player again this summer if we want to go buy. We're going to have to lose a Dougie Luiz and Musa Diaby sort of combo again. I'm sure Leon Bailey's going to be one of those guys. But it's one of those annoying things that our hand may be forced again and we have to lose a big gun. Do I think someone like Ollie Watkins could be a man that we basically we have to sacrifice? Can we sacrifice someone to bring someone else in? Just because we have Ian Matson makes me think that Luca Dean could be the one sacrifice. Don't know why. That's my little weird hunch. Coutinho, though, will be off the books, and Meat said, which is spot on with that, But yeah, so look, Palace tomorrow. I'm nervous because I want to keep that race on. Let's look at the league table one more time. I've been looking at this league table non-stop recently because I'm just trying to work it out. Do you know what I mean? Let's go to this league table. So we're sat in 8th. Here we go. Right. This is what annoys me about a league table, is that we have played a game more than a lot of the teams that we're chasing. So I hate that teams have a game in hand on us. But what do I think? Well, reality is Chelsea could go 4 points clear of us and win their game in hand, if they win their game in hand. Newcastle, 5 points. City, 5 points. But the one for me is that I keep looking at, chat, Nottingham Forest are getting dragged into this. No worries, Meeks. Big up to you, lad. Hope you enjoy your social time and see you tomorrow. Forest are in this, by the way, now. We have dragged Nottingham Forest into this. This is why we need to win tomorrow. A draw won't be good enough. Keep winning now, Villa. Let's go and put 3 or 4 games of W's on the board. Forest have been dragged into this 100%. 100%. 100%. Dean has said, if we should keep Marcus Villa permanent, sorry, CV Villa will be multi-cup winners next season. Oh, I'd love that optimism, Dean. If we won a couple of trophies, why not? Got to dream big. Yeah, that's the thing with Moreno as well, PC. I think Luca Dean is our best left back, but you have to lose one of your biggest assets, like John Duran, like Moussa Diaby. If you want to go to Saudi, you're going to have to lose a big asset to get money in. Villaman Cloudy says, should give Disasi and Powell go together? See if they have a connection. Gives Conso a rest and takes the pressure off him a bit too. Mings isn't what he is. Injury has done him and caught up with him. I don't think Powell is ready tomorrow. But I tell you what, maybe Brentford might be the one. Maybe Cardiff on Friday if Powell is fit and out available. Then maybe. But both like to play on the left-hand side. But there's good options there now. And Kerry said, if Dean goes to Saudi, Matson better start taking extra defensive drills. Matson just needs to learn to stop across. There we go. And Cloudy says, Ollie is destined for Arsenal, I think, especially with the talk. I just don't know if that's a PR spin from Arsenal or if there's a genuine link. But trust me, Forest have been bought into this. Forest have been bought into this battle now. And I just wish everyone else was on 27 games so we can have a fair measure, a real assessment of where Aston Villa Football Club are with this. So yeah, interesting one, chat. It's a really interesting one. Again, a win tomorrow, 45 points, just keeps us ticking. Despite if we played 2 more games than everyone else, we're on that 45-point wave. And just to show you some of the games that are going on tomorrow, it's my final thing. And big up to Callum. Great to see you back in here, Callum. I hope you're well. If you are about tomorrow, Callum, we're doing the watch along on Big Up, and if not, the content's there. But look, these are the fixtures. But it's great to see you, Callum, and good day to you. Good day to you. And I do agree with AVSC85. Arsenal go after someone else. I agree on that one. And PC said I can see Watkins and Mings leaving. Hate to say it. Ooh, both at the same time. Right. This one's a big game, Brighton-Bournemouth, because they're 2 teams around us. So we could do have a draw, in my opinion. Brighton-Bournemouth, a draw, maybe. Or would we rather Brighton win that one? This is us. Wolves, Fulham, not ready for me. I dare Chelsea to bottle it against Southampton. I dare you, Chelsea. 2 wins in 10. I dare you to go 2 wins in 11. Come on, Southampton. We're holding out on the Saints here, which I don't really think we've got much luck for. So that's tomorrow. And then Wednesday, again, games that can impact us. Some lovely fixtures here. This is what we need, as from a Villa perspective. A beautiful Sean Dyche Everton performance. Arsenal Forest, I'm going to say this now. Let Arsenal beat Forest. Let Arsenal just finish second. Drag Forest into it. We need a miracle from Deji's boys and Spurs. And then Liverpool to beat Newcastle. We need Liverpool and Arsenal to do some wonders for us. They're the big ones for me on the Wednesday. Liverpool and Arsenal, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Do you know what? On Wednesday, I may even do a watch-along for one of them. Because Heidi's at work. So do you know what? I may do a watch-along for one of them. Don't know which one. Forest, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and cheer on one of those teams. But yeah, what do you think? Do we think Arsenal beat Forest? Do we? Yeah. We think Arsenal beat Forest. And Liverpool surely beat Newcastle. Surely they beat Newcastle. Yeah, I do love Tyrone Mings. I think he's got a good job in him and definitely rotation. Chelsea will battle Southampton, says AVFC85. Women's team and our youth team falling off clear. Cameron Archer to save the Villa and scoring against Chelsea would be lovely. Gary's outlook is just win our games and it'll take care of itself. I sort of agree with that, Gary, that we do have to keep winning our games. And that's why playing on Tuesday is really important, that we win. And then we have to start looking at other teams. Because if we just win all our games, but so does everyone else, we don't finish 5th. and that's my point really, is that no matter how hard or how well we're doing, if teams above us keep winning, then it's pointless. That's why I am looking above us. That's why I think Nottingham Forest have been dragged into this. And if Arsenal can beat Forest and we win, okay, the gap closes again on Forest. The gap actually closes to what, 4 points? 4 points? Even though they have a game in hand, 4 points? Hey, funny things have happened this season. And this is why Luke and I were saying the other day on stream, Villa are due a patchy form of wins. Not patches in bad, but we are due a run of wins. We are due something like that on the board. We've had a lot of draws. Really, we should be due some wins now. Really, we should be trying to put together. And why not Palace, Cardiff, Brentford? Go get 3 more W's. Get 4 W's on the board. But yeah, I do like that we are in our destiny. That's the one, PC. That's the one. Women's team doing all right with Sean Goat in charge for a couple of games. Then they got the Spanish league. Yeah, Sean Goat, the GOAT of Man City, Bristol City. Yeah. But yeah, we can control our destiny. And we need some fortune. Let's see how that goes. Palace will be tough, but take a draw there. Well, this is the thing, though, Villa Man Cloudy. Palace's home form has been dog. Palace's home form has been absolutely dog. It's been terrible. So I think we have to go and capitalise on that. I think, actually, I'm going to even look even deeper for you on Palace. I'm pretty sure their home form extends that. They've lost 2-1 on the bounce. That was in right. Palace at home. They lost 5-1 to Arsenal. They beat Southampton. Yeah, Palace don't win at home. So Palace's only win, really bad run of form at home. People are not realising Palace's home form is terrible. So I'm going to go back to that. So Palace. Okay, Palace at home. 30th of November. In fact, have a look at this, chat. They do not. I'm going to show you right now on my screen what I'm looking at. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. 30th of November, Palace, draw. Home. Yeah, it's Newcastle City. You would say that's not bad. Okay. So that's November. Coming to December. Palace lose to Arsenal at home. Okay, they beat Southampton. Doesn't everyone? Palace draw to Chelsea. So they get draws against Newcastle City and Chelsea. So I've got to respect that. I've got to respect that. Palace at home. Lose to Brentford. That's the 26th of January. Palace at home. Lose to Everton. So the last time Palace won at home was Southampton. Back in November. It's time to get at Palace's home form. It's time to stop what they do. Yes, I've got to credit them. Drawing with City, drawing with Newcastle, drawing with Chelsea at home. Doff my cap to you. But I can't see an L tomorrow for us. So draw. But I want to go win. I want to go win. If Brentford and Everton are beating them at home, we need to go do the same. We need to go capitalise on that. But yeah, big up to some of the ex-Villa boys for Cardiff City. Ghazi's going to get a hell of a reception. But listen, we are going to wrap up now. As I said, watch along will be locked in tomorrow. Please make sure you join the clan. Join the YouTube members as well. That's just been put in the link there. I will just put the big up in as well. So do come and join the big up people, because why not? Why not? We're on the road for 270 members. So we need 3 new people to join the big up. Join the big up here. If you haven't, for the watch along tomorrow, yeah, there's all that good stuff. Join the big up here. Join that. By the way, I did see your Melier talk about own goal. That keeper has had some howlers in his life, hasn't he? That keeper's had some howlers in his lifetime. But yeah, we're going to bounce out of here. Big up to everyone who's been watching. Villaman Cloudy, AVSD85, Will Munder, Callum, Gary Howlett, PC, VJ, Ramos the VJ, big up Gary Howlett, Kerry, who else? Meek, he's gone now. Dean, the new subscriber. Big up to Mum and Dad. Big up to Heidi as well, to me. T-Banger's just come in, but we are leaving T-Banger, so make sure you're here for the watch along tomorrow. But yeah, legends, legends, legends. I've just realised that my things playing there in the background. Apologies. Shout out to Michael Talks Football for his super chat, and as well as the legend that is PC Lockdown. Legends. But yeah, we're bouncing out of here, people. We are bouncing out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow for the watch along. Crystal Palace away. Let's go get 3 points. Let's have a good watch along, enjoying the Villa on a Tuesday night. Nothing better to do. You're all legends. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hope you enjoy these late night streams. I'm out of here. Ta